All right, this is gonna be Ohio by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. We're gonna have a drop D down here. So we gotta get our big E string down to a D, and also the little E string has to be a D as well. So it's kind of a double drop D, you might call that. Okay, so we're gonna start it with our first riff is gonna go. Okay, so we have the D bass, and then we're gonna hammer, open to 2 on the G, and then we're gonna hit this chord of the 2 and the 3 there from the D. So we got, then we hit the little string open, so, and then we're gonna come back to the open and 3 chord here. Open on the G, 3 on the second. So we got part of an F chord, the 3 and the 2, 3 on the D, 2 on the G. Go to part of a C chord, open G string, first fret of the second string there. So part of his C chord there. And then we're gonna go, that's C bass, 5th fret of A string, open G string, 3rd string there. So we got. Now the second part is just about the same. Just hit that one note and don't hit that G string after it. So once again, we got. And you see if you can kind of hit an extra couple notes up there, not always just the D. You got a chord there, the open, open, open is part of the D chord there, D power chord kind of. So we got. Okay, and that goes through 4 times, and then we get into a verse. The verse is gonna be like a. Okay, so it's like a bass, like a 1 and, hit the chord there in the and, 1 and 2 E and a, so go down, up, down, up. Then we're gonna hit the F, and then the second time hit an open first string after that. And then C, kind of like a 4 E and a, so do an and at the end, 4 E and a. Okay, so this part again is 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 and a 4 and a. Okay, so that's our verse. So we had the intro and the verse, they both go 4 times through. And then we're gonna move to this G minor 7 chord. Now, because of our tuning, you know, normally the top of a G7 or G minor would be 5, 3, 3, 3. But now this 3 has been flatted, so we have a minor 7 there. Normally you'd have to find that F note over here on the 6th fret of the 2nd string. But we also have this bass up here. This is a G bass now because we've detuned that string. So we got 5, we're gonna mute the A, and then 5, 3, 3, 3. That's the chorus. Go to a C chord there. You could do the C chord there. Just be careful not to hit the little E string now because that's detuned now. So we got 3 and 4 and. And then you have your little kind of hammer on fills you can do off that C chord. You also have your little fills you can do off this other type of a C chord. Kind of slide that note up, 5 to 7. Have little hammer-ons there. This is where you do that kind of Hendrixy thing where you got that finger real tall, so you still hear the chord part underneath even after you hammer. Okay, so let's try this chorus again. 3 and 4 and. There's a little extra one. You can add O to 2 on the D, 2 Gs. Now we have a break. We're going to do the D chord. We're going to do all these notes. Open, 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 2, 3, open. And our strum, we're going to do this twice. It's going to go 1, E, 2, and a, E, and 4, and. Okay, so it's 1, E, 2. So down, up, down, up. So it's 1 E, a 2, and you don't hit the 3. So it's 1 E, a 2, and E, and that's a up, down, E, and 4, and. So the last two are kind of easy. So it's 1 E, a 2, and E, and 4, and we're gonna do that twice. So 3 and 4 and. Okay, we're back into the intro at that point. Okay, we do that just like we did before. We're gonna get into a verse again. Okay, and that verse is the one that doesn't really have like lyrics. It just has the la-las and stuff. So we're gonna come out of that la-la verse into another chorus. 3 and 4 and. They have that break again on the D. We got. And then we're back in the intro. Okay, we do the intro, we do another verse, and then we get into the outro. The outro is going to go like 1, 2, and 1, 2, and so wait through the 2 into the and of that 2. 1, 2, and 3. Hit the F chord, 3, 2, 1 there, to the C chord on the 4. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Sometimes you can just give it one hit there. 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 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 And it fades out with that going on. Okay, now we're gonna get into the leads. We got Stephen Stills leads. Those were the Neil Young rhythm parts right there. So Stephen Stills is gonna come in the beginning of this song after the first couple of riffs. He's gonna come in right here with. So that's big D, other D, and back. So we got. And he hits the 3 to 2. To the open to 1, just like the other guitar does, but then he goes 3 to the open D instead of the G string, so they kind of mix together on that one, you know. So we got. And then we'll do those opens again. Now here we're going to start the solo on that 3 there, so we got. Okay, so that's his solo. We're going to break that down. So this is the second measure. We're going to get to that C right there, and then we're going to go. That's the last little 16th notes of that measure. We get into the new measure. We start on this D string. So it was 3 to 5. Slide that one. Now a new measure starts. 1 E and 2 E and. So these are 16th notes. 3 to 5. D string. 5 to 7. And then 5, 7 on the G, 5, 6 on the B. So once again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a. So we're gonna go 6, 8, 8, and then 8, 10, and then a new measure is gonna go 1 and 2 and a. So 10, 8, 6, 5, 7 on the G. So once again, 3 and 4. Okay, so we had the da, 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 5, 7 to 7. And then we wait a beat on the next one. We go 1, 2, and 3, E, and. So that's 10, 10, 8, 10, 6. So once again, it was 1, 2, and 3, E, and. And we wait till after the 4. We go and a 1, And then we have the 7 on the G, so and a 1, and a 5 to 7 down here. So we have hammer on the 5, 7, and that's 2E and a 3 and. So 5, 7, 6, 8, 6, 7 on the G. So once again, we got. When we get into that D break, then he's got another solo. Stills does. I've written down all the timing on this solo in the tabs, so take a look at it because it all changes. It's never the same rhythm, and it's very interesting. So the first thing we have is 1. So we had a 8 and 0. Bottom 2 strings, we go 1 and a. So those are 16ths. 1. You rest on the 1. You go 1 and a. And this is 7 to 8, 7 to 7 here. This is gonna be on the second beat. 2E and a 3E and. See that? Hold that and. So 2E and a 3E and 4 and 7 to 8. So all together we got 1. And then the next measure. So 8, 7, 8, 8, 10, 10. And that's 1 and a 2E and. 3 and 4 and a. The very end of that 10 to 15. So once again, this whole solo we got 1. So we have another 15. Kind of a quick 13, 12, and then slower notes. So 13, 12, 10, 10, 12. 12, 10, 12, 12. These are kind of slow. These are eighth notes. And then the third 12, go quick to the 10, hit another 10, and then. Okay, so just check out the tabs on these. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4E and. Next one is. So this is 1 and a 2. And 3 and 4E and so 9, 12, 10, 12. Hit another 12 there. So the whole thing here we got 3 and 4 and 1. And then they have some fills behind the next kind of singing part. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had a 10, 10, 12, 10. You got a little kind of a 12, 10, 12, 12, 10. And then at the end of that measure, 12, 10, 9, 10 over here. We got 12, 12, 2 10s. Bend that 12 up and down to the 10. New parts of this break we're gonna have. Okay, then we're on to the next break. Okay, so let's take a look at that. We got D string to the open on the G to the 8 on the second string. 2 7s there, so 1 and 2 and 3E and. So 8, 7, 7, 7. 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. 8 to 10, another 10. And then 10, 12, 12. 12, 12, 10, 10. So 12, 10, 12, kind of quick. 9, slide 10 to 12, hit the 12 again. And then you got open B string, 12, 12, and then. So 12, 14, 13 on the second, 12, 13, 12. So 10, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 10, 9, 12 ends that solo. Okay, and as it goes on, you got more lead, you got. Okay, so that was just 10 to 12, another 12, and then 12, 10 on the G, 12, 10, 12, and then you do that riff again. And then we're to the outro solo. This goes like 1 and, hit that 10 on the G on the and, 1 and, 3, 4, 1 and, hit this 12 down here. Then we're gonna have 4 E and, 1 E. So 12, 10, 12, 10, 9, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 12, and then 3 E and a 4 and a 1. So that's 10 to 12 hammer, hammer again on the G, 12, 12 to 14, 13. So here we have 13, 2, 3 E and 4 E and a, so 12, 15, 15. 13, 12 twice, 10, 12 kind of slower, and then 10, 13, two more of those to the 12, you end up going. (13, 15, 12, 13, 10, 12, 10). Then your last thing is kind of slide up to this 14 a couple times. Then you got some 9s. 9 to 10, 10 to 12, and by then, you got some of these little notes here, but you're basically faded out by that point. So these last solos again, we got. Outro solo, 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 2, 3, and a. All right, stuff like that. Ohio, Neil Young, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Stephen Stills on the killer guitar solos. Great tune, very timely for today. Unfortunate that we don't learn much from the past. Anyway, I got tabs with this. Talk to y'all soon. Have a great day.